Hello and welcome to Liberty Nation's LNTV. I'm your host, Mark Angelides. And today we're going to be discussing gun rights and what's happening across the US in the wake of the COVID-19 outbreak. Here to join us is Liberty Nation's Legal Affairs Editor, Mr. Scott DiCosenza. Welcome, Scott.
Hi, Mark.
Not only is Scott an expert on the law, he's also a gun aficionado. So we should have some interesting answers from this. Now, Scott, let me start. What is happening in the States with gun rights in the midst of COVID-19?
Well, it's a fluid environment right here, Mark. We have a number of states that have banned the sale of firearms by adding gun shops to the list of non-essential type stores that are ordered to be closed by the government. And of course, they're so highly regulated that that's sort of an easy thing for them to do, mechanically speaking. It's not like they don't know where they are and so forth. And so we've had a number of states, including New Jersey and Pennsylvania, that have seen these closures and suits to see them overturned.
Okay, I mean, what's happening with private gun sales?
Well, this is something we've talked about quite a bit with Virginia's gun sales issues, Mark, and the battle to be able to keep private sales legal. In most of the United States, private or face-to-face gun sales, as the term is used, are not legal. In terms of the federal law says it is permissible for one adult to sell another adult who is not prohibited from owning it, meaning they're not a felon or so on and so forth. They haven't been adjudicated mentally incompetent, that it's legal for them to sell that other person a firearm, provided they live in the same state and they're not prohibited, if it's legal under state law. Now, most states don't make that legal. Most states prohibit that behavior and say they have to go to a gun shop, basically, and have a federal licensee process that transfer. That is the case in New Jersey and Pennsylvania.
But not Virginia, I believe.
Not in Virginia until the new law likely goes into effect. And people can look at our other videos to discover that information. But in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, while there may be an exception for, I think, immediate family, perhaps in Pennsylvania, generally that activity is barred. So you can't practically engage in a private gun sale, Mark, which is all the more reason why it's important if gun ownership is a fundamental right. And of course, we have situations in the United States now where police are saying they're not responding to low-level incidents. May become all the more important for citizens to exercise their fundamental right under the Second Amendment to keep and bear arms for their own protection and that of others.
Now, you mentioned New Jersey just now, and I believe there's a case taking place or a suit that's been filed that expresses very similar thoughts to what you've just outlined for us. How does that look to go ahead?
So on March 24th, the Second Amendment Foundation filed suit against the governor of New Jersey. We had a suit filed the previous week by a Pennsylvania lawyer against the governor of Pennsylvania. I can tell you that the Pennsylvania suit was basically kicked out of court. The justices said that they were going to allow the imposition of basically no firearms transfers occurring during the period of the emergency over a dissent. The court issued its opinion, the court issued its ruling without an opinion. So we don't know yet where that's going. I have a call in to see if they're going to appeal that Pennsylvania Supreme Court case. And the case that was filed in New Jersey was filed in Federal District Court in New Jersey. And as we record, the case was filed this morning. So we're going to have to wait and see what the outcome of that is.
Okay, I believe you may have read the piece by Lisa K. Donner on LibertyNation.com talking about the spike in recent gun sales. Now, do you think this is actually a reaction because people are expecting all of their gun outlets to be closed down?
I hadn't thought of that before they started closing them, but I think that's probably at least some portion of the reaction. The other is, as I said, with these stories about police departments pulling back their enforcement, and basically, the state is telling people in many ways that they're on their own, while at the same time, Mark, forbidding them from taking the reasonable precautions that somebody who's on their own might want to take, including owning a firearm.
Scary times, Scott. Thanks for joining us. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
And thanks to you at home.
Hi, folks. Lisa K. Donner here, Editor-in-Chief of LibertyNation.com. We hope you enjoyed watching this video, maybe even learned a thing or two. If so, please take a moment and subscribe to our YouTube channel right down there in the corner. Thanks so much.